Happy birthday, Leo Virgos. Welcome into your birthday year forecast. This is a yearly reading where we look into your next trip around the sun from August 2026 to August 2027. I hope that this message finds you well. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. If you're new here, my name is Gabrielle. Welcome to the channel. For those of you returning, welcome back, my loves. And special shout out to all my channel members tuning into this message early and ad-free. I love you all so very much. And I thank you for all your love and support. It truly means the world to me. Make sure you guys check out your birthday week celebration over on the storefront. You'll get a percentage off all your Leo Virgo cusp merch, plus personal readings. Okay, so check that out. That link will be in the description box or a pinned comment down below. And I want to talk to you a little bit about what I was channeling here for you for your next trip around the sun. I named this message Prayer Answered because it felt like you have gone through a lot of transcendence over this past year, Leo Virgo. A lot has shifted for you. A lot has changed within you. That was really screaming quite loudly to me. There's been so many inner world shifts that you've experienced up to this point. This feels like the turning point where all of that inner world shifting is going to start reflecting externally. Okay. I did go ahead and also have in a comment down below your ruling zodiac sign energies, houses, and planets, okay, for the next year, the most prominent and most influential energies. So you can write that down, you can screenshot it if you want to kind of keep that in your mind over the next year. But there's been a waiting period that you have endured, and I will say that you're still in that waiting period if you're catching this kind of right at the beginning of this next year's transit for you. And I want to say 6 months into your personal birthday year, you'll start to see more of the external reflections of those shifts that you've made internally, okay? But you are so close to experiencing a manifestation of that answered prayer that it's just like, don't give up. Like, do not give up, Leo Virgo. I feel like you're pushing through the most dense energy of this kind of transition and shift that's happening for you. I think it's very, very important to nourish yourself in ways that feel like self-care. Whatever that looks like to you, self-care is different for everybody, okay? Do something and continue to do things that nurture a healthy mental body, emotional body, spiritual body, physical body, okay? Tap into something that addresses those subtle bodies at least once a week if you can, because that's what's going to get you through this last stretch of this transition. For a lot of y'all, what I'm sensing is that answered prayer could look like some form of companionship, okay? Whether it be friendship or romantic love, there is some sort of connection that is in the works for you, okay? That could also be that reflection of the answered prayer energy I was getting. Yeah, you've had to be a warrior in more ways than one. You've had your fair share of, I want to say, inner battles, okay? Warring with the old versions of you. Oh, yeah. Warring with the old versions of you. Going through a metamorphosis, I can't make it up. Claiming your power, unknown gift. Yeah, you're almost there. I'm going to leave all this out. There was a lot that you had to tame within yourself in order to claim this power. Some of y'all have uncovered gifts. Some of you have tapped into a strength that you didn't know that you had, a power that you didn't know you had, maybe the power to transform. So things that you maybe felt were fixed about you, you're starting to see shifts. So that could even be very inspirational of, oh, I can change, things can be different. I don't have to settle and accept what is. I have the power to manifest something different. It's in you. Starting out with that lion energy is fire. You're transforming into a very, very powerful force, Leo Virgo. What other guidance do you have here? Let's just get right on into it. Focus on the big picture. That could be difficult this year. For some of y'all, that bigger picture is getting clearer and clearer as the months roll on. With that lighthouse, surrender to receive, and surrender to receive abundance. Oh yeah. Yeah. That's a very clear message from someone's higher self. Surrender to receive abundance. Abundance could be the answered prayer. And again, whatever that means and looks like for you. Some of y'all had to fight through a lot of illusion energy. Things that you thought were real but weren't. Ideas that you were holding on to as your ultimate truth, but it doesn't really align with you, or it didn't truly reflect you. A lot of that is going to get very, very clear this next year. Okay. I really get this strong feeling of things that you thought were permanent parts of your world, permanent parts of who you were, your personality, things that you thought were, I know infixable isn't a word, but that's what's coming to mind. I can't change, that's just how it is, or that's just who I am. But that has proven to be a false narrative. Some of y'all, this is no longer being afraid of that power that you hold so naturally. Some of y'all, this is unleashing a passion, finding passion for something. Getting an opportunity, I'm seeing an Ace of Pentacles in my mind's eye, getting an opportunity to pursue something, or for some of y'all, someone that you're passionate about. What you've had to endure up to this point, Leo Virgo, that's where the big picture comes in. It's like seeing it from that bird's eye view, from the top down. Might help you better understand why you had to surrender so much. Maybe this has been a lot of like loss, feeling like you've missed out, or you've lost out on this, or things not necessarily, I'm hearing stacking up the way that you wanted it to. Maybe that's it. Permanent fixtures, maybe relationships or partnerships or friendships or family dynamics that you thought would be forever have shifted and changed. But what you need to see is that the divine has only asked you to surrender those things because there's something greater for you. Maybe some of y'all have also turned into that internal world because that external energy wasn't a true reflection of you. It's in you, not on you. Some of y'all, your values have shifted over this past year and will continue to shift throughout this next year. Tame and attain. Some of y'all are learning self-control in a new way. Taming the mind so that you can attain whatever this answered prayer is, or attain some sort of inner power that was needed and necessary. That's exactly why the divine has probably asked you to surrender so much, Leo Virgo. Because nothing that you've surrendered up until this point was supporting that inner power. Might have even been taking away from it, and or nothing that you've had to surrender was going to support this abundance, which is why you maybe had to let it go. So yeah, I see like the divine kind of pulling y'all out into a macro view of your world, of your life, of who you are, of your path thus far. That might trigger a lot of different emotions, so flow with them as they come up. You might feel grateful, you might feel angry, maybe even a little resentful. There's no judgment on any of that. All natural, all normal, very human. But once you get that bird's eye view, you'll understand why the divine made you work for something. Made you go through this metamorphosis, made you shift and change in the ways that you have. Something is about to make sense for you in a way that is undeniable and unmistakable. Seems like the divine has been clearing your path so that you can claim something and attain something that's always meant to be yours, an unknown gift. Something that you didn't know you had in you. That's going to lead to a lot of abundance for you. Yeah, Tower at the bottom. What's in Leo Virgo? Oh, also the numbers 24, 34, 28, 25, 41, 19, 2, and 9 could be significant. The number 6 and 7 could also be significant, as well as the number 10. The number 5 could also be significant, okay? Over this next year, you might start seeing synchronicities with those energies. Show me what's in Leo Virgo, what's emerging. Yeah, with all that emerald, it's the heart space. It's about what's in your heart, the King of Swords with the star. Yeah. Your ability to make heart-led decisions and choices might be expanding this year, where maybe things had to make more logical sense. Maybe things have been difficult to emotionally reason through. But that all shifts with your next trip around the sun. You start to rise into this King of Swords energy. Show me what's in Leo Virgos. What's in the heart for this next year? The Empress, Venus, love. For some of y'all, it really, yeah, love could definitely play a big role with this year coming up. 10 of Cups. That's the answered prayer. Some of y'all want a 10 of Cups. And maybe you are the Empress looking for a happy life, happy home. Emotional fulfillment. I want to feel emotionally fulfilled. I want to feel. I think that's just the statement right there. I want to feel powerful. Maybe not look powerful. Maybe that's where the focus had been on. If I look and appear externally powerful, then I'll feel it internally. You got to feel it internally first so that everything externally kind of matches up with it. And in truth, the external really doesn't necessarily matter. Because once you know how powerful you are, what's outside of you doesn't matter. You know yourself. So this is about self-knowledge, getting to know your own heart. Show me what tame and attain is about for Leo Virgos. Thank you. The Fool. A new beginning. A fresh start for some of y'all. Some of y'all are going to be transformed by love. Some of y'all are going to start to feel and experience love in ways that the mind maybe felt wasn't possible, but the heart always knew existed. Some of you, your abundance is love. Being loved and being able to express it. Maybe that's it. People saying that they love you, but you don't feel it. Now you're going to start feeling it. Knowing the difference between real love and false love could also play a big role in this. Some of y'all knowing that to be able to love and be loved is a gift in and of itself. It's not something that everyone experiences in a lifetime. Okay, how could Leo Virgo claim their power this year? Two of Cups with the Six of Wands. For those of y'all that know, the Two of Cups is, for me as a reader, a reflection of your relationship with your higher self. That has to be intact first in order for you to truly experience the fullness of a Ten of Cups. So some of y'all are anchoring in that relationship first and foremost. And wearing that connection proudly. Maybe that was something that was a little taboo or something that you felt ashamed of. Shame could definitely be something that you're having to surrender in order to receive this abundance of love. Not being afraid or ashamed of the heart that you have, of what's in you, that Empress energy. Don't be ashamed to feel deeply. Some of y'all are reconnecting with your heart chakra in a way that is going to open you up to a whole gift, a whole world, a whole part of yourself that you didn't know existed. How can Leo Virgos claim their power through this heart energy? Temperance. Come on now. Your power to shift and change. It's the things you thought were permanent, that you couldn't have control over, that you couldn't make different, are the very things that you actually have power to shift and change. That power to change has always been in you. You also have ancestral help with that, with Temperance showing up here. What's the unknown gift coming through this year for Leo Virgos? What's the unknown gift? The Queen of Swords. Some of y'all got a voice. You have opinions, you have thoughts, you have beliefs, you have something to say from the heart. Somebody in this energy, you've been biting your tongue, holding back, reining yourself in, tame and attain, thinking that that was the way to power. I gotta be controlled. I have to clench it. I gotta tighten it. I gotta pinch myself into this mold, when you're bigger than the mold. You were never meant to fit in somewhere, Leo Virgo. You were always meant to stand out. Your energy has always been bigger than you've allowed it to be. Some of y'all have been dimming yourselves down out of maybe the feeling of, I need to remain humble. Humble and humility has nothing to do with the size of your energy. So if you've had to cram yourself in spaces and places so, other people feel comfortable around you, or, well, okay, I'll bite this back, I'll rein this in because my family might not like that, or they don't really respond well. All of those little things that you've nipped and tucked about yourself are coming undone this year. Somebody can't handle it. Hey, you don't need to be around that person. Hey, it's also not your problem. Do you know what I mean? Making it your problem is what got you into this tiny box. And it's time for you to break out of that box. Because you got that sun energy. Can't put the sun in a box. It's impossible, right? You gotta shine. You gotta let that light out. You got to let that expansiveness exist. And don't worry about the people who don't like or feel uncomfortable with the fact that you're a sun energy. Because some people want to be the sun and that's just not their frequency. But that's not your problem though. You shouldn't shift, okay, well, since you can't be the sun, I'm not going to be the sun either. No, you be the sun and let them figure out what they need to be. Maybe they're the moon. Maybe they're Mars. Maybe they're Venus. Maybe they're Neptune. Whatever, but that's their journey. Nipping and tucking yourself into this box to try to stay so neat and contained. So maybe you're more accepted. Maybe this has to do with acceptance. Too loud, too vibrant, too boisterous, too powerful. So let me rein it in so that I can fit in with the masses. You were always born to stand out. And I think what's beautiful about this day and age is we are in that age of Aquarius, which brings about that power in the uniqueness of everyone. What makes you unique is also what makes you the same as everybody else. So maybe this has to do with like finding your circle of people who don't mind you being the sun, enjoy your sun energy, don't want you to dim that down because they're comfortable with whatever energy they embody. So this is about being more comfortable with yourself. Confirmation by my pupper. How can Leo Virgos focus on the big picture? The 5 of Wands. Stop fighting it. Don't get caught up in little dramas, little issues, little problems. The goal here for the next year, Leo Virgo, is solutions. Be solution oriented. Don't get caught up in the problem. Refocus, reorient into, okay, well, what's the solution? Too much time spent on fighting the issue or getting kind of caught up in things is going to distract you. And this definitely isn't the time to be distracted. Okay, show me how they can surrender to receive. What's going to help Leo Virgo surrender to receive this year? The 2 of Wands, your intentions. If you want what you say you want, then there is going to be some sort of exchange for that. And what I mean by that is you can't hold on to anything new if your hands are still full of the old. Got to free up space for this abundance to come in. And what does that abundance look like for Leo Virgos over this next year? The Knight of Cups, the abundance of love. I can't make it up. An abundance of love. Free-flowing love, I just heard. Love that you don't have to tame to attain it. Love that needs you to be your loud and big and bold and brilliant and passionate and precise self. Love that embraces all of you, not just the parts and the pieces. Love that's going to require you to unstuff yourself from that box. It's time to be loud and proud here, Leo Virgo. Clarify this Empress energy in the heart. What's in the heart of this Empress? 5 of Swords. Some of y'all really maybe felt like you couldn't love, or like love wasn't for you, when it's the very thing that you are. Like, especially with your Leo energy, that's all heart. That's all heart. So convincing yourself that you don't have a heart is kind of anti-you. Yeah, something that you were convinced of is going to be proven wrong this year. but in the best way, because you're getting this bird's eye view of how you might have been combating your own abundance, fighting against your own flow. What's the metamorphosis with this Ten of Cups? The World and the Ace of Cups. Some of y'all, this could have to do with a mother wound. Trigger warning, okay? There could be a dynamic between you and a mother figure. It doesn't necessarily even have to be your own mother, but take that as that resonates, okay? A mother figure that convinced you that love didn't live in you. And so that world gets a fresh start. Some of y'all might have been raised in dynamics where you might have been emotionally responsible for an adult as a child. So someone could have convinced you that all the love in you needed to be poured into them, because this person probably had a hard time loving themselves, so they seeked you out for that kind of love and companionship, which could have distorted what healthy companionship looks like, because that's not necessarily a healthy dynamic. It happens every day, but just because it's normal, or I don't even want to say normal, just because it's common doesn't make it right. And I feel like I'm speaking to a masculine about that. Okay? Some of y'all have complicated feelings around feminine energy, around love, because maybe what you were shown as love from the feminine energy around you probably was distorted in a Five of Swords, manipulative. So then this fear of being manipulated by love is maybe why some of y'all shut your heart off or closed yourself or tried to fit yourself in a mold of existing that, again, isn't just true to you. It's just not authentic to you. We're in the age of authenticity to the max. Like, the most authentic you can get. And that's what I think you stand to discover this year. What is authentic to your Ace of Cups, your heart? And closing out cycles that kept you from that alignment. Show me what's changing. What's the metamorphosis with this Ten of Cups? The Nine of Swords. Some of y'all are going to come to find out that what you were convinced was a Ten of Cups was actually something that was really stressful for you. Like actually a source of anxiety in your world and in your life. But that high adrenaline, alert energy, you might have been convinced was, oh, that means I'm in love. Because I'm running around like a chicken with my head cut off trying to please. And that's not what love is at all. At all. That's anxiety. Yeah. That's stress. But that's not love. It's more than likely just manipulation, which again, common, but it doesn't make it right. Just because a lot of people have that story doesn't mean it's a good thing. It's just a lot of, for whoever that part of this message is for, it's a lot of generational patterns. Well, that's how it was for me, so that's how I made it for you. And then, you know, it just keeps trickling down. A lot of y'all are here to kind of stop that. Fool energy, yeah. We got the World and now the Fool. Funny how tame and attain, and this is a turtle breaking out of its shell. So you being contained in that shell, that's what you're breaking out of this year. How does Leo Virgo tame and attain the Fool, this new beginning? Through the Ace of Swords. Come on now. Gracefully with your truth. No more biting the tongue. Gracefully saying what you need to say. Setting the boundaries you need to set. gracefully through a higher level of awareness. That big picture that's coming in for you, that's coming into a clear view for you. Okay? How does Leo Virgo claim their power through temperance? Page of Swords. The throne of the Ace of Swords. So there again, an undeniable, unmistakable truth is coming in for you, Leo Virgo, that you're going to be able to stand so firmly on that anything that doesn't align with that truth gets surrendered. And with this being an otter, I have a feeling it could be relationships, friendships, family dynamics. And it's not that you throw everybody away. It's how you operate in those dynamics that change. That's the metamorphosis. And you'll see who probably benefited most from you being that caterpillar by who gets really anxious and worried and concerned and bothered by the fact that you have had a shift within you, that you've grown. Who struggles with that is who was benefiting off of you struggling in that Nine of Swords, Five of Swords. Okay? Who has the biggest problem with that? Who can't accept that? That could be what needs to be surrendered. And again, surrender doesn't mean yeet it out the window. It just means your expectations of those connections, those people, those dynamics shifts and changes. You let whatever did exist go so that something new can form. And whether it wants to form or not is not a reflection of your worth, Leo Virgo. I need you to know that. If somebody can't deal with this new you, they don't like it, oh, it's this and oh, it's that, don't take that to heart. It's not a reflection of you. It's a reflection of that person's inability to shift and change and grow and love. And that's no fault of your own. That's their path to walk, okay? Yeah, it's like something goes from divine awareness to something you can easily speak and repeat with that parrot. You're going to see how powerful the truth is over this next year. Speaking truth can shut down so many energies and entities that work against you just because you're speaking and standing in your truth. A lot of shadows can't be in the room when you're in that truthful stance. So like I said, pay attention to who falls away and who stays. And just because someone stays doesn't necessarily mean it's a good connection either, because a lot of people are convinced that they can change people's truth, that they can force their will onto people. That's why you're almost at this kind of full pivot, Leo Virgo, because there's a lot of shedding that you're doing. And in that process of shedding, there are still some battles that you're going to have to go through. And it does feel like a battle of the will. Okay. Yep. And this unknown gift of you being so comfortable with your truth, because you also have the Queen of Swords out here next to a tower, is again what breaks apart those faulty connections, those Five of Swords energies. What you maybe thought was love but wasn't. So that what is truly love can come in for you. Okay. Clarify the Five of Wands with focusing on the big picture for Leo Virgo. Thank you. The Eight of Pentacles. It's something you're going to have to work on. Not fighting the macro view that the divine is going to keep bringing you to. It's like the divine is going to keep putting you on top of that mountain so you can see the bigger picture. But there's going to be some times where you're going to want to go back down to the bottom because what you see might be too much. And that's okay. Because the divine is just going to keep putting you up there until you get comfortable up there. Okay, but what you'll have to work on over this year is not fighting against what you say you want. And again, like I said, focus on the big picture. Don't get caught up in the Five of Wands, the drama of it all, the game of it all. Especially with the Five of Swords over here, you might have a few Empress energies. Or what you've come to know love to be might be a lot of game playing, manipulation. Don't get caught up in that. Solution is the quickest antidote, the Ace of Swords. I'm not going to argue back and forth with you. Here's what I can do. Here's what I can't. Take it or leave it. I don't really want to do all the fussing and the barking and it's either this or it's that. This is what I got. This is what it is. And then move forward. That might be hard for you because of your conditioning, but it's what you're ready to break free from this year. Because then you'll find that power in your own voice. So you might be used to like people talking over you, or again, bickering and arguing until you shut down. None of that's happening. Don't allow that to happen. This is about controlling yourself in a new way. Not to make yourself small, but to maintain that sense of inner power, not surrender that inner power to people who want to play power games with you. Okay? How can they surrender to receive with the Two of Wands? The Lovers. Choices and decisions. What do you stand to receive once you surrender? Love. Love in all the ways that would be an answered prayer for you, Leo Virgo. And don't limit love to just romance. Love can exist in friendships. Love can exist in your career, in your community. Love between you and the divine, feeling divine love. It's a special kind of feeling. When you really feel the universe loving on you. Some of y'all are going to experience a lot of that once you step away from the battle and get focused on the solutions. Okay? Show me the abundance of this Knight of Cups coming in for Leo Virgos this year. What abundance does the Knight of Cups have? The Six of Cups. Come on now. Some of y'all got a soulmate. And again, some of y'all are realizing that you are your own soulmate. That Two of Cups relationship. The divine can be a soulmate partner for you. We're all reflections of divinity, right? But others of you, this is actual preparation for a partnership, companionship. This year is about unhardening your heart, Four of Pentacles. Not clinging on to what's safe and what's familiar. Challenging yourself to experience something that might feel a little scary, but it's the exact thing that you need. Which is beautiful. That's exciting, Leo Virgo. Okay. I got a new deck here, the Familiar Magic Oracle. Just gonna get some more guidance for you. Tell me a little bit more about what Leo Virgo needs to claim their power, tap into this unknown gift, focus on the big picture, surrender to receive abundance. Clarify again what's in Leo Virgo. What's this metamorphosis? Investment. Some of y'all, the divine planted something very specific in your soul and spirit. The divine has made investments in you. And of course, when the divine plants a lot of crystal energy in your heart, or a lot of those gems, a lot of those gifts and talents, Naturally, there are going to be forces that want to surround and suffocate it out of you. It's time to water those investments that either you've made in yourself, that you are then going to recognize that the divine made in you. Okay, you definitely have some monitoring spirits here, Leo Virgo, so make sure you cleanse and protect your energy. I have 2 of these left if you're interested. Okay, my own tincture that I use to cleanse and protect my energy and space. That's available at the website, link down below, cuspofroses.store. Tell me about the metamorphosis and tame and attain. What does that look like? With this Fool and the Ace of Swords. Sensitivity. Ooh, yeah. I feel like Leo Virgos that are really going to resonate with this message, you've had your fair share of like being emotionally manipulated through obligation, through bickering, through arguing. For whatever reason, people maybe feel like they can overpower you, or they try to overpower you because the power that's in you hadn't been claimed yet. So if they can convince you that you didn't have any power in you, that you couldn't outpower somebody, or like you didn't have the right to your own power, then they win, right? Then they get to be and dictate when and how you choose to step into yourself. This is you choosing to step into you in the way that you want to. And if that looks like, yes, I am sensitive. Yes, I have sensitivities. Yes, I'm going to set boundaries around there or around that. Some of y'all, it is in conversation. You know, it's okay to tell people to watch how you talk to me. Like, set that, you know what I mean? Watch the tone, watch your mouth, watch all of that. Because I'm getting that. Somebody feels like, not that you're mousy, but like they could get you to be scared and kind of skittish and kind of wear you down. You got to fight against that, Leo Virgo. Yeah. Somebody definitely tried to like break you in. You've been this is conditioning from your childhood for sure that you're ready to break free from. There could be people that were the guardians of you or around you while you were growing up that saw that power in you. Might have been afraid of the kind of power that you do hold. So they did their best to try to tame that power and maybe even attain it for themselves. Get you to use that power to support them, not yourself. But it's time for you to claim it back from these energies. Okay? Yep. Meditation, exactly. You got to sit with yourself. You got to get familiar with your own energy outside of its connection to anybody else. Some of you, the divine wants to show you the way that they see you. Somebody's going to see their spirit for the first time this year. And once you witness how big and how vast and how large and how powerful your spirit is, that's what's going to shift your perspective. Why am I acting mousy and small when that's my spirit? It's going to inspire you to embody more of yourself. Yeah, it's going to break you free from something. And power, again, doesn't necessarily mean aggression. There's a lot of power in being calm and direct. That's what it is. You're learning how to channel that passion into directness as opposed to anger or aggression or asserting yourself. It's just direct. The swords. Clear, concise, and direct. That's where you're really going to start to feel your strength coming in here. So I'm trying to tell you, silence. And that's also a part of it. Like I was saying, the Five of Wands and the Five of Swords, don't get caught up in those games. Sometimes you don't need to say a word. Sometimes silence speaks louder than anything you could say. And when you feel yourself, Leo Virgo, over this next year, wanting to get caught up in the drama of something, just go quiet. That feeling will pass. And you'll sit with yourself. You'll get to what you really feel, what you really want to say, what you really think. And then when you're ready to speak, then you speak. But don't let anybody get you in a war of words. Because that's a vampiric tactic to drain you of your power, to get you to surrender your power over to someone else who wants to then use it against you. Think about how weak you have to be as a person to have to siphon someone else's power just to feel powerful within yourself. And you're not a weak person, Leo Virgo. That's maybe what you were convinced of, but that's not your truth. Okay? Show me the unknown gift with focusing on the big picture. Yeah, some of y'all, the truth speaks in your silence. When you don't engage with those power games, the truth of it being pointless, stupid, a waste of time, be loud. It gets loud when people can't pull you into that. The truth of your power gets loud. Let it be loud. It's a power in your presence. Some of y'all are learning how to cultivate a powerful presence. Your presence has always been powerful, but again, somewhere along the line, you felt like you either had to exert it or dim it down, whatever that is. This is all getting you back into alignment, which I love. I absolutely love this for you, Leo Virgo, because it feels like it's about time. It's time for you to really step into this. Because whatever this gift is, it's needed. Yeah, survival and spirituality. What you've had to do to survive the dynamics that you came up in, became used to, is not what you're going to have to do on this new timeline. But you're going to have to do your work to make sure that you're surrendering those survival tactics and coping mechanisms so that something more abundant can replace it. Yeah. Going from survival to this peacock energy of spirituality. So not necessarily measuring your own abundance based off of what you have in the external world, but what you have again in your internal world. The abundance of spirit. For some of y'all, is your power. Is an unclaimed, unknown gift that the divine is ready for you to pick up. Abundance. I can't make it up. Give me one more. For this abundance, what does that look like? Fertility. Empress energy. You've got to be the fertile ground for that Ace of Pentacles. You got to be the fertile ground for this abundance. And I feel y'all have been doing that work. Investing the time in cultivating that within you. You're almost there. You got to just keep going. But you're a lot closer to that new beginning, to this new timeline than you really think you are. And as you tap into the wealth of your spirit, that's when the external wealth can start showing up for you again in ways that you maybe never imagined or thought was possible. Okay, so be mindful of the tricksters. And don't trick yourself, Leo Virgo. Okay? Some of y'all have adapted to that power game, Five of Wands, Five of Swords energy, and maybe even picked up some of that for yourself. It's time to put that down. Those games, no shade, no tea, are for the weak. You don't have to play those games when you know your inner power. Okay? That's what the divine is trying to get you to know this year. Alrighty, my loves, I'm going to leave it there. I really do hope that this reading was helpful for whoever this was meant for. Let me know what resonated with you in the comments down below. I love to read your comments and hear from y'all, okay? And if you want to remain private, but still let me know you were here, use our sanctuary code. That'll also be in a comment down below, okay? Drop me a rose for gratitude. Drop your favorite heart color to show some love. If any of this hit you or resonated deeply with you, drop a lightning bolt. And if you're just tuning in to hold space and, you know, see what you can kind of pick up from this message for yourself, drop a candle down below. All right, I love to see our code working in the comments. I appreciate everybody who has used it and who has been commenting. I really love y'all so very much. And I also appreciate my silent viewers. I see you and I feel you, my loves, okay? I wish you a wonderful trip around the sun. I hope you enjoy your birthday week. And I'll see y'all soon, okay, for Virgo season messages. Love you lots. Namaste.